You've reached the Titus Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Willie Jello Johnson. You got us at the Titus Podcast. Never unbiased, always unbalanced. You want to hit us up, go to The Real Christopher Titus on Facebook or at Titus Nation on the Twitter. Or you can hit us up on the internets at ChristopherTitus.com for the best damn comedy you ever heard. And now with the Armageddon Update, Christopher Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update, and today is a day of thanks. You know, every week I have a little problem writing these. What will I write about? What will I discuss this week? But no matter what, some dumbass douchebag that the universe created in its genetic cesspool pops off, and you guys get a new podcast. Yay! So thanks to this week's douchebags, Cliven Bundy and Clippers owner Donald Sterling, two people so racist that the KKK booked Snoop Dogg at their year-end hate-a-palooza. Yeah, I know, Snoop Lion. Now, how the hell in 2014 can you still pop off about black people? President, black. Colin Powell, black. Maya Angelou, black. Not to mention Jay-Z and Beyonce. Black, blackity, black, black. Now, these two old-ass fat white men, one who is letting his cattle basically be on food stamps by grazing on government land that everyone else paid to let their cattle graze on, and a billionaire racist who owns a basketball team, and it ain't the Washington Generals. For those of you who don't know, that was the white team that played against the Harlem Globetrotters. This man makes his money off the talent of black men. The 2014 Irony Award nominees have now officially been closed. The great news is that Cliven is 67 and Donald is 80. Yes, so they're soon to be dead racist. Maybe this isn't a bad thing, but the best thing ever. God has just pointed out that the last couple of racist douchebags are on their way to the grave, and this is the end of racism, the final death rattle of a horrible period of history, and that maybe, just maybe, we are entering a time where all people will see each other as human and not a color or a race or a Walmart shopper, a time when we will all play basketball at a professional level, a time when we will all produce rap albums and dance like we are not having a seizure, but instead having a good time. One day, we will all have had sex with people of another race like Donald Sterling. Oh, that's right. Hates black people, sleeping with a black girl. Again, the Irony Award nominees have been closed. Or maybe we'll even have sex with another species like Cliven Bundy. Right, he said he grazed the cows, but is that a metaphor? I grazed the hell out of them cows. Then there will be no more races, just a bunch of nicely tanned humans. See, I have a dream that we will all look the same, so we can stop hating each other for something as stupid as color and start hating each other for something important, like money and power. Then we can kill each other because some are rich and some are poor, but at least there won't be any racists again. Oh, I can't wait for the end of racism and the class war that will kill us all. Because I have a dream. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening. With me, as always, to the right, to the right, to the right.
Now slide, baby, slide.
Bombshell Rae. What's up, girl?
People?
How you doing, honey?
You just left me hanging on that.
You started dancing. When you start shaking like that, I focus on other things.
Dip, baby, dip.
To my left, I'm glad you're here this morning, my friend, because today we're going to need you.
Damn right you're going to need me.
A lot of
Shit
people
about to break off in this month.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited about Willie being in on this one because everyone knows what we're doing it on.
Should let me do the damn Armageddon Update.
All you have to do is write one and show it to me last night, and I would have let you come in.
Yeah, I know. That means I have to write it down first. I can't just say it as I go.
Right.
So this guy, Donald Sterling, all hell is broken loose pretty much across the world about this guy. He is a troll. This guy is one of the Sith Lords from Star Wars. I can't even believe, I have never seen a creepier, more pockmarked looking piece of evil this cat is. And I guess he's been racist for a long time. This isn't the first time.
Oh no, man! You don't just pop off that shit, the first time, man. It's your little Latina black girlfriend. You've been talking shit for a long time.
Right. So as my father was a weird racist. My father was like, yeah, I don't want to associate with black people, but if someone needs my help, I got his back. It was my dad was odd.
He was a selective racist.
Very selective racist. Very, 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 yeah. Said he was going to vote for Colin Powell if he ran. Just weird.
Yeah, your dad was an enigma.
Yeah, but he didn't like him that much.
What?
I love that you're calling him his dad now. You've completely disowned your own father, which is interesting.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, it was. How long were you with us? You were with us what?
I was with you about 11 years. All right, so he my dad too, but he was kind of a racist. Like he would adopt a black boy like myself, help me get through school, and then, I don't think he'd be proud of me right now.
Because of the breast milk thing?
Because of the breast milk thing. You know how it is. You get in trouble, he'd be like, damn. Of course, he would actually want to try it because it came from a titty.
Yes, he would. All right, so Donald Sterling, let's talk about this guy for a second.
This is not his first
No. That's what's great.
rodeo.
That's what's great about the dude. This guy's been a racist for a long time. Not only did he get an NAACP a Lifetime Achievement Award, he got a couple of Klan awards too. On the other side, this guy's got a varied and deep award cabinet. Let's say there's many plaques. Nazis sent him a plaque. But he has been, some of the things he said, it's weird. There's a, and I don't know, is it old people living in an old world? Is that what it is? Or is he just so old and rich that he just figures he could do whatever the hell he wants?
He looks about 1,000 years old, which would excuse his behavior. However, I think he's probably in his 60s or 70s, so he's way...
No, he's 80. The guy that owns the Clippers is 80.
Well, that explains a lot about his facial structure.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's rebuilt, it looks like.
Yeah, the dude looked like, he looked like a Jabba the basketball team owner. That's what he looked like. He's got that weird puffiness in his face, that hair in his.
Okay.
I can't believe he was with that girl, man, frankly.
Well, I think we all know why the girl was with him.
Because he's hung like a bear?
Yeah.
No, because even though he's a horrible racist, he's a good conversationalist. Even Hitler had Eva Braun.
Donald Sterling, I would never marry him, but I would divorce him. And I'm sure she feels the same way.
I love that you have a level. Yeah, no, so here's what I gather, and I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things right now. Number one, I think we can all agree across the board the guy is the most racist, horrible human being on the planet, that he has used his money and power. Stephen Colbert played something great. There was an outtake from one of his trials about the sexual harassment thing, and he went on this whole big tirade. Well, she was in the back of the limo. She started licking my toes and sucking on my feet, and then she put me in her mouth. And what am I supposed to do? I'm just, she was just making me feel good, and I appreciate it. And the attorney's response was, "Sir, I just asked you. The question was, is that your handwriting?" So the guy's obviously out of his mind to a degree. That being said, this woman, I guess they had broken up. And she said, and he was suing her for she embezzled, supposedly, the accusation is she embezzled $1.8 million from the dude.
Well, damn, man, he could have had that in his couch. Hell, she might have just stumbled across that. He might have just thrown that on a dresser, actually came home from work.
Right.
He just seems like that kind of asshole, though. Like, that was probably the amount of the jewelry that he bought her or something like that. And when she left, he decided to sue her, make her pay.
Right. Well, what he didn't know is she recorded all this stuff.
Right.
At his house. So, and she said flat out, you will pay for this lawsuit. And next thing we know, TMZ has this tape of the dude, which, by the way, people, if you have someone evil in your life and you have taped them being evil, don't wait. Don't wait till you can get evil, because that just makes you evil. Here's evil. Just give it to somebody. Let them listen to it. Anyway, so the woman now.
No, women are patient.
She's destroyed this dude. I mean, this guy's destroyed. He's done. He's really done. He's 80. The end of his life he's going to be seen as a horrible racist, which it doesn't matter. It's good to see that. It was really good for me to see the NBA come together. All the teams came together and said, we are one, and they all want this dude out. So far. Now, when the owners vote, that'll be different. But right now.
A team, did you see they threw their jerseys in the middle of the court and then wore their warm-up uniforms inside out?
Yeah. Well, that was before the commissioner came in. That was before the commissioner said, by the way, dude, $2.5 million, and he said you can never walk into an NBA game again. You cannot be in the stadiums. For life. So, as Stephen Colbert said, so that we don't even know how many months that is. That was great.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, man, here's my whole thing on it. Like, you people don't understand that racism is prevalent. Now, until you black, you ain't gonna understand it, but it's little things all the time. Like you walk up to a store, right, and there's a white lady pushing a white baby in a basket. There's an instant amount of fear in her face. Now, I'm not saying I don't appreciate the fear and love it because it gives me a little bit of power, but I do say there's a point when you just go, oh, damn, man, can I just live my life, be another human being like everybody else?
Right. That's kind of how I feel, and it's kind of obvious, and all the kids are taught that, and everybody's taught that. So what is it in our system that this racism thing is to permeate? Because he was calling him, this dude, the stuff he said, Ray, was kind of like, he said, I buy them, he goes, I pay for their clothes, I pay for their cars, I pay for their houses. Hold on. There's 400 players in the NBA. That's the elite of the elite of the elite of the elite on the planet. To play at the NBA, you have to be such an amazing human being, an incredible athlete, that you're golden. Every dime that you're getting, you've earned by busting your ass for years of your life. And this guy was basically, it was almost like he had a plantation of basketball players somewhere. Yeah.
That's interesting because I was looking
Yeah,
up.
Massa, you want me to throw the free throw now, Massa? Massa, I'm going to box him out. Massa, I'm on 30-second clock. I saw I went over on the 30-second clock, Massa.
Dude, I don't like when you do that voice. It's funny, but it makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, I saw it, Massa Titus. I don't mean to do the voice.
Stop it. Stop it. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's good that he's taking lessons from you in interruption.
Yes.
He's getting good at it. I was looking up because he's got a lot of past lawsuits, a lot of
Really?
accusations.
How many lawsuits are we looking at? What are we looking at?
It's a lot. What I was going to say in reference to what you were just saying was that he fired in '83 his head coach named Paul Silas, and he brought in a new coach named Massimino. And Massimino is now telling that he was asked by Sterling if he can coach inwards, and then
inwards.
I just don't want to say the word.
Oh, N-words. Yeah.
Yo, man, yeah. Just call them enigmas.
Enigmas. Can you coach
you can't.
enigmas? Then
Look up the definition. It actually is pretty funny.
Elgin Baylor sued him. He was an exec with the Clippers, and in the lawsuit, Baylor alleges that Sterling told him to embrace, quote, a vision of a Southern plantation type structure. So you were being funny, but that's actually what his vision is.
What the hell is wrong with people that in this day and age, really, really?
Yes,
that's crazy. So what do you do about this guy? Here's the thing. Here's what I will tell you people. Now, it's easy for a lot of white, and some people would call me liberal, but I will say this: I don't think I'm liberal at all. I'm in the middle, and here's how I can prove it. There was a guy today. There was a funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm in the gym looking at the TV, and it says, "Execution fails, man dies 40 minutes later." So my whole thing about it was, that's not a failed execution. That's just an improv execution. It didn't go the way it was planned, but they kept saying yes and he eventually died.
Go with it.
Go with it. Keep going. Go with it. Right. So, and this was a guy, and so there's all these people, these I was listening to MSNBC, all these right-wingers going, oh my God, it's cruel and inhuman. Well, the dude that they killed basically raped a girl and killed her, slaughtered her. He's a rapist and a murderer. Got no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I think we should start letting blind people in with lethal injections into the killing room and just let them wander around till eventually they poke them. Just put them through the kind of nightmare. Just let monkeys in there with syringes and let them just shoot them up eventually. I have no cruel and inhuman punishment. If you're in there, if you are so cruel and inhuman that we are killing you, cruel and inhuman punishment, maybe we could even the score just a tad before we take you out. That's all I'm saying. So I would say if I am liberal, I have a lot of Old Testament in me. Let's leave it at that. So we went to a wedding this weekend in Mexico. And by the way, Mexico, I understand why you people are escaping. That being said, the resort was really nice. It was okay. It was all right. I will say this to the Rio Hotel in Mexico. You guys were really nice. The people are really nice. We had some great help. You guys could probably use a bedspread update and maybe some furniture that Elvis hadn't sat on. Let's just put it that way. And pillows. You should not be able to put pillows through a fax machine.
Yeah, and when you fold them in half, they shouldn't make a cracking sound.
That's true. I would say that. Well, when I tried to fold one and put it under my head, and it didn't do anything, and I folded it in half, and it was like folding a piece of paper. It was horrible.
Pillow origami.
So the people whose wedding we were going to are great friends of ours, and they both are black, and they're one.
They are?
See, right, because we've known them that long. One is one of the baddest ass people I've ever met in my life. She started this charity that went worldwide. She was invited to speak at the White House. She's runs
a federal probation officer.
Federal probation officer who runs the arms training for it's crazy what she does.
Yeah, this is one of my best friends.
She's a badass. Her husband, the guy she married, is basically he makes sure that the people that want to pump chemicals into the air and are trying to kill us, he makes sure that they pay a lot of money and they stop doing that.
He's a Columbia Law graduate, and he was a federal prosecutor, and now he's working for the state.
And he teaches at UCLA. He's a professor at UCLA.
Yeah.
Okay, that's who these people are. Now, their friends are all at the same level. One of them is one of the deans at a Harvard feeder school.
Right.
His wife is an attorney. She also teaches. She also teaches at UCLA. UCLA or USC?
Sure.
UCLA. One of those. It's with a U. It starts with a U. You can tell I didn't go to either.
Sugar.
You can tell I didn't go to either one of
Sugar.
those. And then all their family showed up, and I'm sitting there thinking, and I went to a place where I didn't even think about it. We had been hanging out all week. We spent 4 days there, and these are our friends. They're some of our best friends, actually. And they happen to be black. And I never once, until then this happened, I started thinking about, at what point do you hold on to your racism in this world so tightly that you are running a team, you're paying millions of dollars to people that you don't like and can't stand your girlfriend to take a picture with? At what point do you just... Is it just how do you, I don't understand how you disconnect that. How do you disconnect that? Because I've asked them before, I've talked about, is racism really going on?
Yeah, what they say.
Yeah, they did. The guy who's he basically he makes sure he works for the
He works for the government.
Yeah, but in like a really high level. He's an attorney. And he said at his school at Columbia, he was walking, there was a wall, right? And he's just walking because he had to go talk to this one of his teachers. Well, the teacher happened to be out on the other side of this wall by this field. As he's walking on one side of the wall, he hears three white guys and this teacher saying the N-word, saying that they get all these subsidies and blah, 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 and then when they come to class, they just don't do their job. And he's on the other side of the wall hearing the entire conversation. He gets to the end of the wall, turns the corner, and they instantly went, "Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. What are you doing? What do you need?" And it was night and day. So and now I'm going to ask you, Willie, I get the entire mistrust of white people. Now, the other side is this. Can you take a guy's business for being a racist?
You may not take his business. You could take his life. How about that?
What?
Well, I would say this. If that troll Sith-looking motherfucker was out on the street, I may shiv him 3-4 times.
No, you're not supposed to say that out loud.
I said may.
Oh.
Your Honor, I said may. I didn't say I would do it definitely. I said I may.
You may hypothetically.
Hypothetically, that's what I would say. I may hypothetically stab him many times, cut out his liver, and feed it to my pit bulls.
Okay, so don't be specific. You got a little too specific in that last part.
I'm just saying.
Snoop Dogg went off. Snoop Dogg went off on the Twitter, or it was Instagram, went off. I don't know what to do with this
How does
guy.
he go off? I feel like his go off is still like 1 RPM.
It still is. Yeah, well, no, he said he mother effed him quite a bit.
But it took him 17 minutes to do it.
Yeah, it was three vines. He had to do 3 vines in a row because he couldn't do it in 6 seconds. Listen, if you are a racist in 2014, if you really think that black people, Asian people are different, let me give you some statistics because I love statistics. Of the people on welfare, 39.8% are black. 38.8% are white. That's 1%.
We win
with a margin of error of 3%.
Shit.
Yeah, so it's even, dead even. Asians are like 3%.
I was going to say.
Asians are 3%.
Negligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch the N words you're using right now. We're in a very sensitive area right now. In fact, everybody should use words that only start with all the alphabet except N.
I thought it was funny, speaking of N, was that in May of 2013, the Clippers, under Asshole's direction, fired Vinny Del Negro.
Just because his last name was
I was going to say,
Negro?
I'm sure he thought his name was Del Negro, and because of that, he lost his job. Yeah, so anyway, that Adam Silver came out and said, I'm going to get you out of your touchy area. That he's the NBA commissioner, and he's imposed that lifetime ban, a $2.5 million fine, which you say isn't that big of a deal. But to old dudes like this, especially old school dudes like this,
Yeah.
it's like the billionaire, right, that you always talk
The
about.
billionaire in Germany that it was worth like 1.4 or 1.6 or something, and he lost $800 million in the crash of 07.
He was
And
worth 1.6 billion.
Yeah, 1.6 billion. He lost $800 million. So he still had 800
$800
million,
right.
and he killed himself because he thought he was broke.
Right. So I sense that this old dude is like that. And so this is just a slap in the face to him. He doesn't want to just hand over $2.5 million.
Well, it's not going to buy him anything. Here's the thing: if you pay a fine like that, you should not get out. Whatever. I don't say get out of it because he'll never get out of it. But and I get that. I get you signed a contract to have a franchise. You have an NBA franchise. You have to follow the rules. And they said, well, if it affects business of the NBA, then we can do anything we want. And someone said on the radio today, well, it doesn't affect business. It was just personal. It was in his own house to his girlfriend.
Bet.
Well, it does affect business because he had like 12 sponsors pull out, right? He had like everybody's
Well,
stuff.
it's not only that, but do you know, I mean, a lot of celebrities have come out and said that they will not attend any game that the Clippers are involved in until he's out.
Right.
That's huge effect on business. But also, so what they're going to do, they're going to try and force the Board of Governors to exercise its authority to force him to sell the team. So he's set for a huge legal battle with them because I don't feel like he's just going to give in.
But also, it's their rules. He signed a contract. They said today on the news it was 93 pages or something that he has to sign a contract.
He can have a team. It just can't be in the NBA.
Yeah, you can go play you can, again, hire a bunch of white guys that play the Globetrotters. They always lose, but you're still in basketball, my friend.
There you go.
Yeah. So I think this guy's going to fight it. But if I'm 80 and I screw up this bad, my attitude about it is, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to sell my team for $2 billion to Oprah and David Geffen, who are already looking to buy it. David Geffen already tried to buy it, and the guy basically told him to fuck off. Probably called him a faggot too. This guy is really needs to. We don't need people like this anymore. But what my problem is this: he was taped in his house, okay, by his girlfriend illegally. She didn't have permission to tape him, and she then gave the tape to somebody who basically, so
He has a civil lawsuit against her.
right. So if you go rule of law, he's kind of free. None of this is even evidence. As a matter of fact, he could probably sue the NBA, sue TMZ, everybody for playing it. They had how do you?
He's not free from public opinion.
True, that's true, but he is free based on the First Amendment. He is totally free based on the First Amendment. You can say what you want. By the way, you're a dickhead, you're an asshole. No one's going to want to hang with you, but you still get to be. You can do it. There's no legal. They really don't have. The NBA does because he signed a specific contract.
Right.
They really don't have any legal thing against this
There-
guy.
and
Can
no-
you pull a man so he doesn't show up? He can still own the team.
Nobody's saying that he does, that they do. They're just saying that he cannot be involved with the NBA. He
Yeah,
can
man,
continue to own the team, but nobody's going to play for him, and they're not going to be able to play in NBA regulated games.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm being so quiet today, man. I got rage inside of me because of this, and I want y'all to know that, like, look, I know y'all cool, but there's a point in this society when we got to stop and just go, hey, man, we can't let people like this. They need to have the hammer come down on them, man. This shit, Chris Rock said it best. He said, things have been wrong from 1600 all the way to about 1962. And that's when things started to change. And it's still going on. And at the end of the day, I think everybody got to stop and just go, all right, we need to take this dude out. The problem is, it is, I heard someone saying, it's a slippery slope. At one point, what's going to happen is, let's say you just don't like people that eat ice cream. You know, that dude eat ice cream, man. I don't like that dude. I don't want anyone around me to eat ice cream. But when it comes to hating black people and being so adamant about it, I believe you just have no space in the society.
Yeah, but aren't we going to get the political correct thing? Isn't it going to go too far? And that was, by the way, I don't think I've seen you that thoughtful.
I'm trying to keep it smooth right now. I'm just trying to keep it smooth. This dude is the dude that everybody... See, black people have been complaining for a real long time about racism. We've been complaining, hey, Whitey does this, Whitey does that. And white people just throw their hands up, oh, my God, then black people complaining. Then you got this dude who just does this. We hear what happens behind closed doors. And by the way, we think that all you white people talk like that behind closed doors.
Well, I can say I don't. I usually do it in the car.
All right, man. All right.
So black people can't take it that way because my guy Freddie, he said to me that day, he goes, "Hey man, be careful driving home." After this came out, it was like he actually thought it was going to be riot time. He thought it was because it's Clippers, it's here. He thought it was going to be LA riot time.
I think everyone's going to pretty much just direct their hatred at him.
Yeah.
He's an easy target.
Well, we've come on just to bring that.
It's ironic that he's been segregated from going a place where black people rule. Does anyone else get the irony?
They should make him sit on the bench with everybody. From now on, Sterling, you have to sit on the bench and bring sweaty towels to every single black guy on the bench.
But he has to sit behind them. He shouldn't be able to sit next to them. You have to sit in the back.
You have to sit 4 rows behind them and bring them sweaty towels.
Not that bathroom. Not that bathroom. You have your own special bathroom.
No. He has to use their bathroom and has to use their drinking fountain. Has to. See, that's a big thing. He said they smelled. Didn't you hear all the stuff this dude said?
I did, and I can't even
horrific.
Go there. Also, this ranch owner, Cliven Bundy.
This guy.
This guy's
This
is all happening at once. It's amazing to me that this still goes on today. It's amazing, old or not, because you did say, what is he just older? Okay, so let's say 1969. Still tumultuous. I'll give him 69, and I'll give him 3 years to get over being butthurt.
A lot of people wearing black jackets with their fists in the air. A little scary.
Let's give him 3 years, 72. I'm generous. I'll even give him till 75, but change has come.
At that point, disco was killing it, you had to admit.
You've had 6 years, right? Bill Cosby.
The Bee Gees had stolen black music again.
Bill Cosby's already doing comedy, right?
Right? Oh, my God. Cosby's doing comedy in the 60s.
He's doing I Spy or whatever?
I Spy was on, with Robert Culp. Hit show with a black lead.
All kinds of stuff going on. So I'll give him until 75.
How can I just say Sidney Poitier and just leave it at that?
So that's 39 years ago.
Right.
And there's no progress. There's none.
Oh, can I read you what this Cliven Bundy dude said? This is great.
He said something else now, too.
Oh, no. He's got to stop talking.
So if people don't know who this is, it's this Nevada rancher, and he's been in a standoff with federal rangers because it's a dispute over grazing rights. He's been allowing his cattle to graze on federal land and refusing to pay the grazing
Do you know how much
fees.
he has to pay?
$1 million. They're saying that he owes.
But per year, per head of cattle, it's $1.35. So he's been doing it for 20 years. So when I thought, well, it's going to be expensive. It's $1.35 per year per head of cattle.
But the funny thing to me is that a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans were championing him.
Oh, they were
as
great.
Like, yes, he's a rogue, he's a maverick, he's standing up to the government. And then he got a little bit of spotlight on him, and he was like, "Let me tell you what else I think about black people."
Let me tell you about the niggers. That's what he said. In fact, I should let you read this because this would be great.
Oh, this is that.
Don't read, just relay.
I'm gonna read the first couple sentences because at one point you got to just call the dude on his shit. This is what Cliven Bundy 67 said. I want to tell you one more thing I know about the Negro. He said, Mr. Bundy recalled driving into a public housing project in North Las Vegas. And in front of the government house, the door was usually open, and the older people with kids, and there's always at least half a dozen people sitting on the porch, and they didn't have nothing to do. They don't have nothing for the kids to do. They don't have nothing for the young girls to do. And because they was basically on government subsidy, so now what do they do? Then he said, this dude, they abort their young children. Well, damn, motherfucker, how we boating our young children? How come they half a dozen in the house?
I was going to say, the complaint large number of children, I thought.
Right, so what do you... this motherfucker don't even know what the hell he talking about. I mean, he said, oh, there are too many kids?
Keep going, because the next line pertains to you.
Man, I don't even want to read this, dude. See, you hear my voice get high and shit? All right, here we go. He say, they brought their young children. They put their young men in jail. They put their young men in jail. Like, hey, man. Hey, by the way, for a couple years, why don't you go to jail? To put the young man in jail because they never learned. This man said this on television in 2014. Because they never learned to pick cotton. And I've often wondered, are they better off as slaves picking cotton and having a family life and doing things? Or are they better off under government subsidy? They don't get no more freedom. They got less freedom now.
Well, there
wow.
you go.
And let me say what I said in 2007 when I wrote End of the World Tour. I am Whitey and I apologize. Oh my God! When you at this point,
I don't apologize. I don't know this dude. I don't understand this manner of thinking, and I don't associate with it.
This motherfucker already owes the government over $1 million, and I love that Fox News and Sean Hannity was like, this guy's a patriot and blah blah blah.
They all were. Rand Paul backed him, and then he comes out and says "niggas" a bunch of times, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, we didn't mean it. We take it back." But that's the thing. If he hadn't done this, decided to use this exposure as his Negro platform, he probably could have gotten out of all of...
By the way, Negro platform.
No, stop. He probably could have gotten out of all of these millions of dollars that he owed.
You think?
They were all championing, that's a hard word to say fast, championing him as like he's a maverick, and they're all supporting him. So he's got all these lawmakers and all these politicians standing behind him and saying, like, let's help this dude out, let's get him exposure. I think, he could have at least gotten a bump. But now, no, nobody has anything to do with him now. And he's now come out and said, because they've re-interviewed him, and he's now come out and said that if people think he's racist, blame Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, he said, no, he actually said something, Martin Luther King hasn't done his job yet.
Hasn't done his, he said, if black people are offended by the word Negro, boy, or slave, don't blame me, blame MLK, because that means he hasn't done his job yet. He doesn't even know he's dead.
Jon Stewart said that. Yeah, he said, Jon Stewart was so funny. He said, he was something like, Martin Luther, he quit early. You know, I guess he just kind of quit working, and he started with like the guy didn't even know he was assassinated.
The issue, by the way, is federal ownership of state land. So there was something going on where maybe he would have found a loophole, but I think the loophole is going to be.
This is a man who says he doesn't recognize the United States government. He says, I do not recognize the United States government. Really, dude? Okay. So I love when anybody gets behind somebody this crazy. But we don't have any room for this anymore. And the great news, here's the good news about this entire thing, and then we'll get to the news. The great thing about this entire situation is that I have not seen anybody, not one person, back up Donald Sterling or Cliven Bundy. There's been not one. Some people were even like, you know what? Federal land, grazing right, it's just grass. It's going to grow back anyways. Maybe let the guy, we'll lower his fine. I was even okay with that. But once the people started getting racist, in my lifetime, you don't see anybody backing them up. You don't see anybody backing them up. And it's really good that we have come. You have to recognize for the commissioner of the NBA to come out and go, by the way, this guy can't own the team, can't walk in the building, can't even show up, and wants to take his franchise away. That's a big step. And I was around on the riots in '94 when OJ, at the not the OJ trial. What was that? It was the OJ trial. No, it was before the OJ trial.
OJ was in 96.
No, it was Rodney King. Rodney King. I was around for Rodney King when all hell broke loose. And since Rodney King, we have come so far that not only were black people outraged, white people were outraged in a way that I haven't seen in my lifetime. Like that weird, like white people, like motherfucker. Did you see those dudes that showed up at the game the next game? A guy held up a sign. A white guy said, "Hey, I brought my black friend," and the dude next to him had a sign that said, "I'm his black friend."
It's not races. It's not differences. It's humanity. we're all human beings. And it's very tiresome to me this weekend at this wedding, even.
Know that you're my hero.
This weekend at the wedding, even we went and you and I were sitting and you said that you looked around the table and you said there is no difference. Like that racism exists anywhere blows my mind. I can't. It's hard to concentrate when someone's singing.
You do it to me all the
time. I know, it's terrible.
Yeah, but even
Let
you
me
guys...
finish. Just let me finish one thought
Let
today.
her finish.
All right, man.
Is that you commented on that. You looked around and we were just having such a good time and how much we love these people that we were with. Some of these people, Bill Burr's wife, Nia, one of my closest friends, the people you've already talked about. I mean, just really amazing people that are very dear to us. And then a day later, a couple of other people came in. And I started putting up a little bit with, as they would drink and stuff, some nastiness and some comments about me being a white girl.
Yeah.
When the music would come on, so, there were comments about you. Oh, what are we going to do with him? It's all, white comments constantly, and they weren't in jest, and they were very.
I was making them in jest, but nobody else.
From
was.
a nasty motivation from three people.
It was a very small group of people.
Yeah, and that was weird, and I had this whole feeling of being tired. It was like, really, we're having this amazing, beautiful weekend, and that anyone from either race would want to bring that into it. It just was really, it's just tiresome.
Yeah, deal with a white girl. It's a bitch, ain't it?
And it's a waste of time.
And that's how everybody feel on the black side. You just
like
feel,
what you just said, racist.
Yeah, you just feel tired. You just feel tired. And it was cool to watch. Although black people were mad, Snoop Dogg went old school Malcolm X style with swearing, but most black people kind of went. There was a big heavy sigh, like, here we go again. I think black people should look around and notice how many white people stepped up to the plate and were like, this is bullshit, and they dealt with it. So to the white people, thanks. And to the black people, nice job not killing this motherfucker and burning his house down.
That was a little harsh. That was
I feel like sometimes he's dropping hints.
yeah, dude, you can't see. They can't play the tape in court. That's all it is.
This is a podcast. This isn't even legal.
Well, actually, you're being recorded with your consent.
Yeah, I don't give anybody. I don't give anybody permission to use this podcast in any legal manner.
It's too late.
Yeah,
you
done,
said that
dude.
after
You're already
the
on.
fact.
You're already here. You're already here. But yeah, it was weird. There was some racism. That was weird. It was three people at the wedding that were just. They were like. In fact, we did a line. Listen. I know. Like, I know when I dance, I'm on the edge of seizure, and if I worry about it, it's worse. So what I did this swing, I just didn't worry about it. If you noticed, when I was dancing this week, did you notice?
I did.
I was free. Dance like I don't. People, I want you to know something. You know that phrase, dance like nobody's watching. I don't believe in that phrase. I believe dance so spastically that people call other people over to watch you. Dude, you got to see this guy. That's how I dance. Screw it, dance like nobody's watching. I want to dance so stupid everybody wants to see. That's how far I want to dance. So I'm dancing like that. The playlist of songs was so badass. We had such a great party after the wedding. But there was these three people and Ray can dance. Bombshell can dance hard. Bombshell can dance, can move. So we were doing a couple of different line dances, the wobble, what else?
We did the wobble, we did the Cupid Shuffle.
And there was
the electric slide.
And the electric slide. So Bombshell is killing it in 4.5-inch heels. And these women were heckling when it would switch to your side, you were in front.
It was just constant.
Oh, the white girl's in front. Oh, here we go. And then she would destroy it.
There were like little comments like, why you want to be a friend with a white girl like that? And then they'd laugh like, oh, we're being funny, but it wasn't funny.
Right.
There's a difference. Like Nia, I told Nia and Mahogany that I always get a spray tan before I hang out with them. And they told me, good, because that's why we like you better now. Right. It's like that banter and joking, fine, but these people weren't joking. But anyway, it's just tiresome. So
well, and Nia said something, Nia goes, she's married to a white guy. And one of these women turned to her and goes, man, I got to find myself a white man. It was like, That's really?
That's where you start? We just met.
Yeah, exactly. we just came to the wedding together. So we have to admit it. Racism is out there, and as this week has shown, and there's a lot of dumbass people that just can't face the fact that that basically there's as much welfare on the white side. In fact, I love the rancher. He was on welfare. He was on cattle welfare. His cows were cashing food stamps, pretty much. And then he still stood up for anyway. All right. So that's enough talking about racism. But I'm sure we'll talk about it again because there's still dumbasses out there.
You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. I want to do this. All right, everybody. From around the world, sea to shining sea, continent to continent.
And sometimes space.
And sometimes space. It's Bombshell Rae with the Bombshell News.
Notorious KKK leader Fraser Glenn Miller was caught doing salacious things with a black male prostitute.
Yay! There you go.
Yeah, we shall overcome, and then she shall make you come.
His name is what? She. You're being liberal with that pronoun.
It was a male prostitute. Was it dressed? Was it a transvestite?
KKK Grand Dragon. He's the head dude.
Great.
And proud anti-Semite. He's been accused of killing 3 people outside of Kansas Jewish centers earlier this month. This is that guy.
Oh, that dude.
Was not always so strict about his discrimination.
Maybe he needed glasses. He was old.
What? He actually founded North Carolina's White Patriot Party, but he was caught in a compromising position in the backseat of a car with a black man doing things a federal prosecutor is not comfortable saying out loud in court, apparently. They had trouble explaining in court. He was mid-act. That's actually what they're saying. And it was a male prostitute masquerading as a woman.
Oh, my. This racism ball just keeps unraveling, isn't it? Your little hard, evil ball of racism, racists, is just kind of unraveling. In the last couple of weeks, it's really unraveling. Yay!
So this guy, Miller, Fraser Glenn Miller, he actually once wrote, and they found this, white men not to be outdone by their women, bed down with colored women, accelerating even more rapidly their own racial demise.
That's why he didn't sleep with black women. That's why he slept with black men, so he didn't want to slow his racial demise.
I thought so there's the loophole.
Yeah, there's your commitment. Nice job. Yeah, he said such a racism. I only have sex with black men.
That was a very unpopular stance at the KKK rally.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. By the way, everybody, Jonathan's gonna have to leave. Because this I don't like this last bylaw. Can't sleep with women, but I can sleep with black men. That doesn't work for anybody. And you can't actually sleep with black men. You just gotta scare them a little bit. And those hoods really scare us.
By the way, again, KKK, it's that whole idea of methinks he doth protest too much.
Yes.
This is not surprising to me. That's a whole giant room of closet everything. Closet homosexuals,
You
closet...
can't even stand up for your hate. You got to put a damn costume on.
Right.
You don't even have the balls to come out and say, I believe in this. You can't even take a fucking stand
no,
for
they
what
do.
you say
they
you believe in.
They constantly scream, we hate black people, we hate Jews. I mean, really, like... you're protesting too much. It's suspicious. But the sad thing is, this is how you know that you're in a really bad place in your life. His justification, because of course he's being represented by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Wow.
His justification that he's using in court is that he had lured the prostitute to the meeting with the intention of beating him.
Now let me tell you, this ain't right. I shouldn't even be here. I did not have that black boy to my backseat of my car and get him naked to do ungodly things with him. I had him there so I could beat him to death. But I punched him, and then he smiled at me, and I saw a twinkle, and then something hit me in the heart a little bit, and I don't know. Next thing I know, my willie's hard, and we're doing it. But I meant to beat him. So, just so you know.
Intent.
Please, for God's sake, charge me with assault.
I love just to keep the dude's reputation. He's going to say, yeah, I was going to beat his ass. And then I ended up being in his ass.
Ah!
Hey, dude.
No.
Dude.
No.
Dude.
No. You're on a timeout for the next 3 minutes.
Oh, man.
This story was in by Agent Pink Squashy. By the whizzle, Agent Pink Squashy is going to be on our theater tour with us next week.
You will see a large-headed Frankenstein man walking around who's huger than anybody you know, and you'll understand that is Agent Pink Squashy.
He is going to be with us May 8th at the Edison Theater in St. Louis.
Right.
May 9th, Detroit Majestic Theater. 2 shows because we have so many people.
Yep.
We have to spread them out. 7:30, 10:15, and then May 10th, Madison Barrymore Theater.
Still tickets for the second show in Detroit. Madison is filling up. If you're going to go to Madison, and then St. Louis is a Thursday. So go to St. Louis for God's sakes.
Even if you don't live there, fly there because it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
But the VIP in Detroit and Madison are sold out, all the VIP seats. So choppity. Anyway, this was sent in by Agent Pink Squashy. A middle school teacher has been arrested for giving a student a 4-minute full contact lap dance in front of the class for his birthday. This is in Harris County, Texas.
Is it what kind of school? High school?
Middle school.
It's a middle school. My God.
My brother actually said that he wished he doesn't understand why he didn't have teachers like this.
Yeah, none of us had teachers like this.
She's actually quite pretty, too. You know, normally you look at the picture and you think, oh, this is going to be awful. But he turned 15. She turned on music, and she hugged him and said, I love you, baby. Happy birthday. And then she started doing a full contact lap dance in front of the whole class.
Did she not? Okay, again, this goes to Armageddon Day for me. At what point have we lost all our common sense and fucking judgment that this woman didn't think that this may get out? Everyone's got a cell phone. Everyone's going to be filming this. I love you, baby. To a 15-year-old, we've had how many teachers arrested in the last 5-6 years for doing stuff like this, sleeping with their, and she just did it again, thinking, what could possibly go wrong? You know, Philip Seymour Hoffman, 50 bags of heroin, what could possibly go wrong? I'm going to do a lap dance to a kid, an 8th grader. What could possibly go wrong? People are so safe, they believe that nothing can happen to them. You dumbasses. Donald Sterling believes he can just sit there and talk shit. I'm amazed.
I think people are medicated, to be honest.
Is it that, or is it we just nothing, everyone's protected now and nothing kills us? Again,
They said while she was circling the chair that she stumbled several times, and maybe she was medicated or hammered or something.
Well, I think we need Armageddon Day. No rules. 6 days a month for the next 7 years. No rules whatsoever. Bullets and fire. Just total anarchy.
By the way, speaking of people being assholes, there is now in Brazil an Osama bin Laden bar, and the owner is a lookalike to Osama bin Laden, and he looks exactly like him, and he wears the hand towel on his head. And
by the way, is my time out over now?
You have 30 seconds. And he's got the military jacket. Actually, you extended it by talking. So if you go to the World Cup in Brazil this summer, you can drop in and have a drink with Osama bin Laden, and it's called Bar do Bin Laden. And the reason that he opened it is because everybody told him he looked exactly like him. He's even got the long beard with the gray in it and everything. You should go look at a picture of him. But anyway, he poses with patrons as Osama bin Laden and takes pictures and things like that.
I don't even know how to respond to this. So I don't even know.
He said it's been great for business.
I can't even fathom. Where is this at?
Brazil. He said that no one even calls him by his name anymore, which is Francisco. They call him Osama or bin Laden.
I say we make it real. Let's go make it all real and shoot his ass. Hey, man, that's really funny. Do you look like Osama bin Laden that killed 3,000 people?
We should send in 6 SEAL team lookalikes.
Yeah, Barley, we'll call them bouncers or something, yeah. These aren't real SEAL team guys. They fake. They fake. They just got the outfit. They just look just like SEAL Team 6. So we're going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to beat your ass and waterboard you for an hour and a half. How you like that?
By the way,
let's make it real.
I would go to that bar.
That bar in a second.
The bar that glorifies Osama bin Laden? No. But the bar where you get to come in every night and
watch his ass get tortured? I'm in 100%. And then at the end, they take a picture. You get to take a picture with the corpse, like they do the guy up like a corpse, and you take a picture of on the board before they dump his ass.
You know, most bars have the girls on the bar on their back where you pour tequila. They do the body shots.
Right.
It's waterboarding instead with Osama bin Laden on the bar. I love it.
See, there you go. You just water. But no, you don't waterboard them. You Jack Daniels board them, and then whatever spills out into a trough.
Sponsored by Jack Daniels.
That's the bar I would go to, where they just basically tortured terrorists. I'm in 100%. You know, Abu Ghraib. Come to Abu Ghraib West.
Are you mad at it?
I don't understand that. Again, people have no common sense. We need. See, what used to happen a long time ago is that the weak and the stupid got taken out because the world killed you. Now we believe that we need to protect the weak and the stupid. And by the way, if I'm weak and stupid and I get killed, I need to accept that. But People don't have that. People believe that they should know. I need to be protected. I need to.
You are not weak, so don't say that.
But I'm just saying that but people like this, the dude that looks like Osama bin Laden. Oh wait, I'm stupid. See, it took me a while to get that because I'm not stupid.
You can talk now. By the way,
you're so stupid you didn't understand. She call you stupid, man. That's pretty rough. Yeah, but if you got, I agree, man. Sometimes in this world, man, too many people just kind of stumbling through, and the people around them are picking up the slack and making sure they can make it through okay, and they don't die. So I think we should stop helping everybody. If you're so stupid that your ass shouldn't, if you can't figure out crossing the street in the middle of this is a bad idea in traffic, if you can't figure out that maybe you shouldn't drink 35 shots, maybe we shouldn't pump that dude's stomach. Maybe we should just let that dude go, because all he's doing is taking up everybody else's time.
Yeah,
that's why we're brothers.
You got him all fired up.
No,
today.
that's why we're brothers right there. Is that because, by the way, Sterling, this guy, he's got every resource he wanted to. This guy probably could have got away with this shit forever. $1.8 billion. The dude could get that it didn't matter. This guy had all this money. That it didn't matter that this guy had all this power. That we still, as a society, jumped on his ass. And the white NBA commissioner said, "Fuck this guy. It's over." That gives me hope for society. That gives me hope. This guy has been running unchecked for so long, and that's what I'm saying. At every level, we have too many human beings running unchecked.
By the way, if he were planning on selling the team, this would be a brilliant way to make a huge profit off of it. Because now everybody wants to buy it from him. Oprah Winfrey wants to make a point to buy it from him.
David Geffen already tried to buy it from him. And now that they're this good, by the way, I didn't even think about it. They're in the playoffs. It's perfect. He's not that. You listen to the guy on the tape. He's not that diabolical. The weird thing is, he never used the word. I mean, he was racially horrible, but he didn't get like evil. He didn't get Quentin Tarantino racist, where he uses the N-word 500 times.
Yeah, that Django movie it took me a little while to get over the N-word, and that dude kept saying it.
Yeah, I think there's a point. Quentin Tarantino, love your movies. Although, did you notice that Django at the end of it, you didn't even notice they were saying it anymore?
Mm-hmm.
So Lenny Bruce was right. If you say it long enough, if you just forget it, even it loses all its meaning.
Right.
Unless you're Spike Lee, and then you get really mad. So that's another thing too. Spike Lee said some horrible things about white people. Do we take Spike Lee's movies away? Do we say Spike Lee can't make movies anymore?
I think we kind of did. We just didn't say we were doing it.
We just stopped going.
Like, where is Spike Lee?
He was on the news talking about this the other day.
Well, I'm sure he's thrilled.
Yeah, more news. Quick.
More news. A thief has stolen $18,000 worth of Axe shower gel, and Axe is totally cool with that. So you know how Axe promises unrelenting female attention and or late nights. That's their ad promise.
Right.
A thief has stolen $18,000 worth of the shower gel in Indiana. Maybe because he wanted to smell sexy, like sexy cookies. So representatives of Axe Shower Gel have said that they couldn't be happier that a full pallet of the product was stolen from a semi-truck trailer on Sunday in Indianapolis. They have sent out press releases reminding reporters to look out for anyone who smells great and made a, quote, clean getaway with 3,600 bottles.
You remember that? That Smokey the Bandit movie where they took shrimp and beer? So we have now gone to the place where all men are manscaping or such pussies. They actually steal a pallet of shower gel. Eastbound and down, 18 wheels are rolling. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go. Gonna be sweaty when we get there. We got a pallet of Axe right in the back. Oh God, guys are.
I just love that their take on it, though. They're using it for publicity.
Very smart move on that. Yeah, they're already creepy. Some of their ads are some of the creepiest ads I've ever seen. They're so blatant. Like if you put this stuff on, women will rip your pants off and put their mouth on you. That's pretty much their ad campaign, and that people are dumb enough to follow their ad campaign that they basically stole a pallet of it. Boy, we gonna get some women now. If a little bit's good, a whole lot gonna be better.
All I gotta say is, man, that stuff work.
What?
No.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Sometimes I bring down the axe. My women can't help it.
Your women already can't help it.
That is true. That is true.
I wish I was as smooth as you.
Yeah, keep wishing.
So this man was upset because his wife wasn't thrilled with his bedroom performance. So he decided to go and spend some time naked in the great outdoors to find his sexual spirit.
Nothing sexy about going out in the outdoors naked. Nothing. Nothing at all.
While he's frolicking around, enjoying the sunshine and being with nature, is what he called it, he saw a legless lizard, which climbed his leg and then crawled into his urethra. I'm going to give every man a minute because every man is in pain.
No, most men are confused right now. A lizard crawled into his urethra?
Yeah, he said he actually enjoyed the sensation.
How did the lizard get out of his urethra?
He had to go to the hospital. But it's a legless lizard, and it crawled up in his urethra while he
How could a legless lizard crawl?
They slither.
That's called a snake. It's not that's a snake. That's not a lizard. That's a snake then.
That's not what he said.
This is the way. I think that on the way to the hospital after you've put a light bulb in your butt or a lizard has crawled up into your urethra, I think the ride to the hospital is always, what do we say when we get there? And the wife said, well, I made him go out in this case. So you just say, I was not good in bed. I can live with that. But I was out running in the backyard naked when a lizard crawled into my penis. That's good. We'll tell him that. I think everybody who's got did the gerbil thing, gerbil, but I thought that it was an enema. Turns out it was a Habitrail, and I put it in my butt thinking I was cleaning out my colon. Turns out I was filling my colon with hamster. See, I think people on the way to the hospital, those what I would love to hear. That would be a fun video to shoot. It's like the people
reality show ambulance ride.
Yeah, the people on the way to the hospital, what are they going to tell the doctor so they're not horribly embarrassed? By the way, you have a snake in your urethra or a hamster in your anus right now. That should be your first concern, not how embarrassed am I going to be.
Yeah, but ambulance ride, they haven't had time to make up the story yet. By the time they get to the hospital, get checked out, then finally they get questioned, then they've come up with something, right? Yeah. But ambulance ride, it's just coming out, literally.
So you just have a reporter there just interviewing instantly.
Yeah. Sign this release.
And tell us what happened.
And drugged.
No,
Sign this.
Don't tell us what happened. Let's figure out what happened. That's the entire show.
I had a snake in my urethra once.
No, you didn't.
You're right. It's just a snake with a urethra.
Dude,
God.
Why do you always have to do some shit like that?
A Hawaii driver has allegedly hit bikers on purpose at a bike safety event. This reminded me of you.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. What?
This is in your current special.
The punchline was bike safety event.
Right.
He ran over how many?
3.
On
purpose.
Why?
I don't know, but people in Hawaii should be really happy. You live in Hawaii. There's no need for this kind of brutality. This is the first story ever in 3 years that we've had from Hawaii.
Hawaii cannot be Florida West. Cannot.
No. But in Angry Pursuit of Happiness, you do reference cyclists
I do believe I have an issue with bicyclists believing they deserve an entire lane of traffic. The lanes were designed for cars specifically. They have a thing called bike lanes. Put a bike lane in. Just because you're on a bike doesn't mean you get to weave in the traffic and stop me.
Shing, shing, shing.
Yeah, you just don't get to. And, I'm not going to hit you. But if you're in the dead center of the lane with your little tight shorts on, your neon green shorts, thinking that you can just run the lane and do 30 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, pull to the right, son of a bitch. By the way, nice glutes.
This angry rant brought to you by
I wasn't angry.
Titus's newest special, The Angry Pursuit of Happiness, which he will be performing in Tampa at the Improv this Friday through Sunday.
Yep, it's just me this week. I will be in Tampa Friday, Saturday, Sunday, two shows, and then one show on Sunday. And then the week after
2 through 4.
And then the week after that, we're going to do our theater tour, which is
I already told them. Edison, St. Louis, May 8th.
Right.
8 p.m.
And then
Friday, Detroit, Majestic Theatre.
Majestic is beautiful.
7:30.
Right, and what's Saturday going to be?
10:15. And Saturday is going to be the Barrymore.
Right, you guys don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
The Barrymore Theatre, Madison, Wisconsin, with Agent Pink Squashy in attendance.
Right, guys, if you want to hit us on the Twitter at Titus Nation, I've been putting out some pretty funny stuff. I have to admit, even I thought it was funny.
Yeah, you have.
At Titus Nation on the Twitter. If you go to Ray Bradley on the Twitter.
On the Twitter and on the Instagram.
Yep.
And The Real Christopher Titus on Facebook and Bombshell Rae Titus Podcast on Facebook.
To get any of my 5 90-minute DVDs, I guarantee it's funny, go to ChristopherTitus.com. We also have Arm the Children t-shirts out now. You can order Arm the Children shirts. We will send them to you. They will get there. We take PayPal and everything. Help us out. Also, guys, do me a favor. The Combustion Lounge, we don't get paid for it. The only way we get paid is if you click to the Amazon link on the Titus page.
ChristopherTitus.com.
ChristopherTitus.com. Go click through Amazon and then buy your stuff on Amazon. If you've clicked through, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and they send us a little something to keep the Combustion Lounge going, and the Combustion Lounge is a lot more expensive than it used to be. So thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate you guys being there for us. You can also hear us on Breathe Radio. Breathe Radio. So sexy. When she does that, it makes me crazy.
Right? That is incredible. Like, that should just be the ad. Breathe Radio. And then you go... All right, that sounds like a death rattle. You need to get sexy. That was horrible.
Yeah, that was.
Breathe.
All right, guys. Everybody out there, don't be racist. There you go. That's pretty much our lesson for today. Or if you are racist, guess what? You're gonna lose everything because we've stopped playing. It's weird. The entire country has kind of stopped playing. I like it. What?
I don't know.
It wasn't like someone said something funny. He goes, this thing wouldn't have gone crazy if the guy owned a hockey team. That's a good point.
What?
Because the guy's making money off everybody on the team is black. It seems odd that the guy had that kind of racism.
It all seems odd.
Right.
But that's the thing. He started to think that he was creating it. Without those players, what?
Clippers
He's got a big empty room.
Clippers have sucked for a long time, though.
With nachos.
How do you even have any attitude when the Clippers have sucked? By the way, that guy made that kind of money with a losing team.
He got attitude after his first $1 billion.
Yeah, I guess I'd be a little cocky after.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Christopher Titus, this Titus Podcast. Thank you for listening. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Rae and Willie Jello Johnson. Later.
Peace out.
Jello, everybody. Jello.
While you're adding stuff now.
I'm trying to put my own personality, my little spin on it, you know.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
I don't think you were really feeling it.
I wasn't brilliant yet.
You will be.
You will be one day.
Are you going on our theater tour with us?
I'm going to be there, yeah. Me and Squashy going to make sure that if there's any problem, we're going to squash it.
He's going to make you work. He's not going to let you leave. And
dude, he's not. Yeah, you don't get to just find a white girl and take off.
I don't find white girls. I find human beings. I don't see color. I just see asses.